Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Love Your Vibe. I'm your host, Sean Grant. Once again, I'm always kind of tied up in the beginning because I'm so used to saying, hope all is well, or good morning, hope all is well. And I've been doing more of these episodes in the in the evening, in the afternoon. So it's just a bit of an adjustment. But hey, we're all human, and that is what tends to happen. We just have to readjust, recondition ourselves, and make everything work. So hope everything is going well, and you are doing fantastic on this lovely Wednesday, that is. Yeah. Actually, I thought it was Tuesday. So, which is actually pretty hilarious, but it is Wednesday. And with that being said, amazing topic for today. So happy to just kind of dive right into it and really discuss the asset that this thing truly is, the most amazing, just fantastic, basically just there's nothing that compares to it, and the reason I'm tongue-tied is because it took me a while to realize how important this was, but once I finally understood it and once I finally was able to implement it for myself, I became an unstoppable force. And that's the reason why I know that you have to be aware of what's happening, of what's going on, of why you need to have this, and you need to have it as strong as you possibly can have it, which is there's no limit to it, and it all begins with you. It's all up to you. I think that's the most amazing thing about it is, when you find something that's valuable, you need somebody else to give something to you. But in this case, you have it all within. You've just got to cultivate it to the degree of having it work wonders in your life. And so it's going to be really, really exciting to talk about this with you today. So with that being said, let's get right into it. So the topic of self-confidence, self-belief, self-love, I'm going to call it self-belief. I'll kind of go back and forth between self-belief and self-confidence. But what's so amazing about this is that if you're not aware or unaware already, life gives us what we give to ourselves from a vibrational standpoint. Okay? And so what that means is that whatever you think about yourself, whatever you feel about yourself, however you act towards yourself, that's the mirror of what you're going to see outside yourself. That's what you're going to see in the real world. And for some, that becomes scary. But for people who are really looking to revolutionize the way that they live and capitalize on all the joy, abundance, harmony, happiness, love, this is one of the most powerful realizations you could ever imagine, because before any of us ever get to this point, we're victims. We feel, we know, we believe that life is happening to us. We feel like we have to wake up and just maybe hope that life would work in our favor. We just have to keep our fingers crossed and hope that everything goes well with that promotion, and believe not only believe, but take a chance that somebody might notice what we're doing and pick us out of the crowd and let us be recognized for all the great things that we're used to doing and stuff like that. And the beauty of it is just not like that at all. It's just not. And the most amazing part of it is that life, ladies and gentlemen, is about you giving to yourself. An analogy I like to use, just imagine you're parenting yourself, right? You can look at yourself as a little kid. You can look at yourself as an adult. But just imagine that you're parenting yourself. And so when parenting yourself, are you going to be the type of parent that tells your kid, oh, you ain't shit, or you need to like do this, you ain't doing this right, you need to do that? Or are you going to be the parent that encourages your child? You're going to be the parent that has that positive, uplifting self-talk, that parent that says, you know what, you got this. There's a setback right now, but you're going to bounce back and you're going to succeed because you succeed at everything. Everything works out for you, you know? And you really have to take a moment to see where you are first, because we can't really do much of anything unless we're honest about where we are. And all you simply have to do is just look at your life. Are you struggling? Are you succeeding? Are you kind of caught in the middle? Are you having some success and then all of a sudden it's becoming negative? So figure out where you are. And that will completely dictate what type of self-love, what type of self-belief, what type of self-confidence you have. You know, we talked about self-talk the other day on the other episode, and it just ties in together because it's so fantastic to know that if we talk ourselves through life and we talk ourselves in a way that just uplifts us, changes our demeanor. Like I remember my days of playing football and just remember how amazing it was to listen to a coach talk you up and like, you know, make you feel like you could run through a wall. And the truth is we can do that for ourselves. You know, I was reading an article and, you know, it was, they were talking about basically that motivation is something that won't last. Well, if you're looking to get motivated at one point in time and then never doing it again, then yeah, you're right. It's not going to last. But motivation is like showering. Motivation is like eating. You've got to put it on as much as you need to, right? And one of the mistakes I used to make, I used to always wait till people would challenge me to be just absolutely ridiculously, fiercely motivated. And I would like blow success out of the water, you know, be so successful and then like, you know, be all mad about it and stuff like that. And that just wasn't a healthy way of motivating myself. But then I realized, okay, how can I do this in a healthy way? How can I do this in a way where I don't have to feel like I got to go in somewhere guns blazing or I have to prove to somebody else? See, because when you got to prove to somebody else, that means you're lacking a whole lot of self-love because you need to show that person that you're good enough for them to approve you. But the truth of the matter is you're already good enough. You've always been good enough. The moment you stepped on this earth, you were good enough, right? You don't need to prove to anybody else that you're good enough except yourself, right? And you prove to yourself, once you prove to yourself that you are good enough, you start to see the world changes in your favor, right? The world changes in your favor. People start to treat you a lot better. People start to begin to see the value in who you are because you're seeing that in yourself. And that's one of the most important things that I desire to really give you right now is to take a moment to see the value within yourself. I started looking at my life when I came up on this topic, and I just started looking at all the stuff I was able to give. Not even necessarily get, because it's never really been about awards and rewards and stuff like that. But, which those things are fantastic, and those are great. But I'm like, I've been such an abundant giver over the course of my life, and especially since social media has been basically born, I've always given of my gifts. I've always given of like everything that lies within me. And it's been the most amazing feeling. Like it's been so terrific to feel that, to know that it's present, to know that I can turn it on at the drop of a dime, you know, and just be so excited about what's unfolding. And I love it. I love it because it just tells me, like, I stand in the mirror and I say, you know what? You are so valuable. You are so valuable. It's so great that you love yourself unconditionally. It's so great that you approve of yourself unconditionally. It's so fantastic that you know that you have the ability to succeed in everything. And that becomes the most amazing aspect about who you are, or one of them, right? And so how you hear me talking to you in a motivative way, that is how I talk to myself. That is how I talk to myself, and that's how I want you to talk to yourself. And you know what? It's okay if you get a little embarrassed at first, because that's kind of what usually happens, because those who talk to themselves and who talk to themselves in a motivating, uplifting way will look crazy to those who don't, right? It's just the way it is. Genius is always frowned upon to be something crazy from those who aren't really up to speed yet on what's transpiring. Okay, so if you feel a little nuts at first, find a place where you can do it on your own. Find a place where you can do it in a space of, you can just, for me, in the beginning, it was the car. It was, when everybody would leave the house and I had the house to myself, or when I was in the middle of the bush, in the woods out in California, and I knew nobody was out there, I would just start just talking to myself and pepping myself up and just reminding me, because see, we're so bombarded with so many different messages of mediocrity and insecurity that we have to feed ourselves. I read in a book that we have to advertise to ourselves like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, McDonald's and all these places advertise to us. We have to be, if they're spending billions of dollars to attempt, and a lot of times successfully, sway you into investing in their product, how much more would you invest in yourselves? And you can do it for free. You can do your own ads. Your ads are basically your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your self-talk about you. So you can start advertising to yourself stuff that you desire to see in your life, because it is only a belief away. That's one of the most amazing things to realize, that I'm only one belief away from realizing the truth of what I came here to do, or just basically having an amazing life. Tell you a story here. I have always been fortunate enough to live a good life. But I reached a point where I knew, although my life was fantastic, that there was something more that I was missing. It would always feel like I would get success, but I would never get the whoa, success, right? And I knew that it was something inside of me, because everything I studied so diligently, so just insanely, obsessive, to be honest with you. I would just study that, and it just became evident to me that I was not doing something correctly. Sorry, whenever I pause here, I'm sipping water to stay hydrated in South Florida. But it became evident to me that I wasn't doing something right. And so, in knowing that the universe can never make a mistake, the universe is perfect in every sense of the word, you really start to dig deep inside yourself. And so I started to look at my life. And growing up wasn't a bad childhood, but there were a lot of negative stuff, because the problem is you're only going to go as high, in most cases, as the people around you, the level of consciousness that the people around you have, is what I'm trying to say. So you're only going to go as far as that, especially when you spend a lot of time with these individuals. Okay? And so if you can't have somebody there telling you that your dreams are valid. You are ready. You are equipped. You are able. You are confident. You are determined. You are locked and loaded for success. It can be difficult, right? It can be difficult. And I didn't really have that. I think what sort of kind of became the case was I started out on this journey of playing football, and I just knew I wanted to do it. And something inside me drove me to have the confidence to do it. And my family, I can just, looking back on it, can honestly tell you, everybody except for my youngest brother were just kind of like scratching their heads because they couldn't fathom what hadn't happened up to that point yet. But something in my heart was telling me, that this is something that I needed to do. So I would talk to myself. I would talk myself up a bit. But my point is, not to get too far off, the point is that it wasn't necessarily enough because the outer talk that I heard from so many people not making it, from so many people failing, from so many people, more importantly, not believing in themselves, I kind of feel like that was one of the reasons I fell short. I look back on my college career and I know that I could have did so much better, so much greater if my self-confidence and my self-belief was stronger. Because there was a time where I lost my confidence and all of a sudden it just was me being in a position, getting injured, not having confidence, running over the middle, trying to make things work, trying to stay healthy, and I was just battling myself. And so, you really take a look at everything. And I look at everything. And the one thing that stands out, the one thing that would have made so much of everything different would be the idea, the acceptance, the embedded within the subconscious mind of a strong self-belief about I can do anything. In my case, I was religious. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I am capable, I am ready, I am succeeding in all facets of this game, right? If I could tell myself that as a younger man, that's exactly what I would do. But you know what? I can only do that now. And now that I know how powerful this is from watching my own life, I can share it with you. I can share it with you and allow you to be in a position to where you can start talking to yourself. And if you got kids, you can start talking them up. You see, it's all within us. We're either going to go one or two ways. We're going to excel and succeed in every facet and aspect of life. Actually, three ways. Two, or on the other side, rather, I'll give you the second one here. We're going to fail and we're going to live a miserable life and nothing is going to work out because our self-confidence, our self-belief is just not there. Or three, you're going to fall in the middle where you live a mediocre life where you're not really doing much of anything. You're just kind of floating by and you're not really making many decisions or anything like that. But my thing is, the purpose of this podcast is to help you to understand how powerful your self-belief is, right? And so what I want you to do to start off, all you need to do every single time or moment you get, say, I love and I believe in myself. I love and I believe in myself. And when you say it to where you feel it. Allow it to settle down into your deeper inner being, your subconscious mind. Allow it to settle in there and feel it because it's that's going to make the difference. I love and believe in myself. And you can even go as far as I love and believe in myself unconditionally. I love and believe in myself unconditionally. I love and believe in myself. Continue to say that. Continue to feel it. And watch how your life changes. I'm telling you, self-belief, self-confidence, it's key. It's the most powerful asset you have. Use it, and I promise you, your life will transform. Thank you so much, guys. It's been a pleasure. Take care.